Okay, so what we were saying is that in the upper cervical area for the vestibular system, a lot of times when there's migraines, we'll see that C2 vertebra rotated in one direction. And usually that spinous will be turned to the side that's overactive because it engages those muscles and it holds them tight even though you're looking straight ahead. So if we're gonna do, let's just say we have an overactive, in your case it's the left. Okay, so the left side is overactive. And let's say that therapeutically what we're going to do is we're going to do a left translation, but we've got to keep the eyes locked in. So we'll call this time 0. We're going to do a left translation. But what are we going to do with the head to defeat that imbalance as well? So if you have a spinous that's rotated left, and we're going to go left to recalibrate the left vestibular system, we want to have the head turn to the right and get that C2 spinous, to turn to the right, because it'll go to the side that you turn your head. So you get the laser on, you're holding that cardboard that has 2 targets on it. You bring that laser to the right and you bring your eyes to the left. Okay, that way we're activating the right side, which the left side's overactive. When you activate the right, it calms the left. That's just how they work. So head right, which makes sense structurally because it also gets that spinous over, and eyes left. And then while we're holding that board with the 2 targets, laser here, so head here, eyes here, we translate to the left. Now what you're doing is you're recalibrating that left overactive system. You're winding it down. The head and eyes are positioned strategically. And patients like Kragan, her neck, her C2 was way over for ever and ever. She came in recently, 0 pain. Her pain is totally gone. All this chronic tightness was turned out it was vestibular in nature, but also she's got an eye muscle that's weak. But we fix all of that in one translation, and we keep reinforcing it. But that's what we're also seeing with all these cases. So Kara, clearly has an otolithic head tilt. When she does this, her face starts contracting. All of that went away after we did the left translation, and then that addressed the vestibular component, time 0 to the left. And then we did the stim pod on the greater and lesser occipital nerve, left of C2. And in her case, I'd have to check. I think we may have done right here, right at the TMJ where the trigeminal nerve is. That's what we were doing with the case we brought up in our seminar. She was right side, where we would translate to the right. This was, I have a blank on her name, but anyway, first case we talked about,
Anderson. Anderson?
No, but it doesn't matter. Migraine, seizures is what she was having, and we would do right-sided translation and also use the stim pod on the right side. So typically it's all on the same side. There are some exceptions. I saw a patient today, Carolina. So her migraines are hugely improved. I mean, massive.
Great day today.
Yeah, massive improvement. And she hasn't been here 10 times yet, but it got spread out over such a long period of time that we weren't able to be really productive and effective. But hers are on opposites. So her vestibular translation is to the right, but we do all the stim pod on the left. Because in her case, and typically they're on the same side, but occasionally they're not. And we did stim pod on the right one day because I was thinking right vestibular, right. That's usually how they are. And then afterwards she got up, she goes, it was much more sensitive on this right side. Like it was much more productive, right? Because you stimulate that side and then it activates the musculature much more efficiently. And I'm like, oh, we did the right, not the left. So then we go to the left and you can see the muscles twitch, right? You can feel them twitch when we use the stim pod. When we go to her left, they're nowhere near as efficient. And it makes sense. She's got these left-sided migraines. The whole peripheral nerve supply is just dumpy on that side. It's terrible. So, but now it's a lot more efficient, and as we've been doing that, she said today, she's off all of her meds, she's feeling a lot better, and she's got dysautonomia, so she's here for dysautonomia, but then, side note, I get migraines, so we're addressing all of those. But, so what I'm seeing is case after case after case. My daughter Olivia, one day, we got a call from school, they said she had a migraine, like, she's got migraines? Those all do. Brought her in here instead, and work with her. She's got the convergence dominance. So anyway, so we did all that work as well, and we did a before and after right eye on her, and she went from 14 to high 60s on the same visit. So anyway, that's good.